The modern American dream, wealth, power, and fame. The last, celebrity through the mass media, can take place in an instant. America's first instantaneous media darling was Charles Lindbergh. He did that by being the first to cross the Atlantic Ocean solo in an airplane. Thereafter, Americans would be obsessed with being first. In 1919, Raymond Ortigue, a New York financier, put up a $25,000 prize for the first person to fly non-stop from New York to Paris. An unknown Charles Lindbergh decided to try. With extra fuel, Lindbergh figured the newer monoplanes with air-cooled engines and aluminum construction could make the flight. Charles Lindbergh was born in 1902 in Detroit, Michigan. After an undistinguished childhood, he took up flying in the early 1920s. He barnstormed for a year and had a brief stint as an airmail pilot. Then Lindbergh set his sights on the Ortigue Prize. Backed by St. Louis businessman Lindbergh, he helped design a plane he called the Spirit of St. Louis. First, he flew it on a record-breaking flight from California to New York in 1927. Now, ready to attempt the transatlantic journey, Lindbergh waited anxiously for the weather to clear over the North Atlantic. Finally, on May 20th, the storms over the ocean subsided, and he took off from New York's Roosevelt Field. "33.5 hours later, after a remarkable feat of engineering and human endurance, he landed in Paris to throngs of cheering Frenchmen. Word of Lindbergh's accomplishment spread quickly throughout the world. For a generation of Americans, Lindbergh was a larger-than-life figure, the folk hero that every American believed lingered somewhere deep within. He was the quiet man who rose above adversity to create great things. To his chagrin, Lindbergh would live the rest of his life in the spotlight. He married Annie Spencer Morrow, whose book, A Gift from the Sea, became a bestseller.
Were you thinking of me on the way down?
I couldn't think of anything else.
Sadly, he lost his first son to a kidnapper, an event that became a gross media spectacle. Throughout the century, others followed in Lindbergh's footsteps and established famous firsts in flight. Chuck Yeager broke the sound barrier. John Glenn orbited the Earth in space. And Neil Armstrong became the first human to walk on the moon.